What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. Third attempt making this video. I can't talk today for some reason. So, hey, how you doing? Good. So the store, how's the store doing? It's doing all right. I have a question. So leave me a comment, just out of curiosity. And if you haven't subscribed or liked the video, subscribe to the channel, like the video. Yeah, do those two things. Just do it. If I live streamed, would you watch? If so, what time would you like to see a live stream? And put it in Eastern Standard Time. So know your time zones. Okay, now that that's out of the way. Because I'm curious. I'm curious if I did live stream, if anyone will watch. I mentioned live streaming listing just to kind of hang out with people that list as well. And no one left a comment. So I guess they didn't like that idea. But I'm curious about it. If I did live stream, it could be like a Q&A or just bounce ideas. Because look, most people go on YouTube watching these kind of reselling videos because they want knowledge. They're trying to learn something most likely. Some maybe go on for entertainment. I don't know, probably a little bit. Excuse me. But when you have a person like me that is just like, I don't sell 100 items a day. I haven't been hugely successful at eBay. Been doing this 3 years and I'm still learning. Um, so I don't know if it's probably not as enticing as if my title was, see how I sell 100 items a day on eBay, right? Um, People would probably be more inclined to watch that type of video because they want to learn. So with me, what do you get? Um, you get to learn about what I'm doing and see how it affects my store. So maybe if you're doing the same thing, oh, sorry, or you're thinking about something that I'm doing at a smaller scale, like you're not going to take 4,000 items out of your store like I did. So maybe you're thinking, what if I did 20 items that are bad? What would it affect how would it affect my store? If you have, I don't know, 500 items, 1,000 items in your store and you take 20 out, I don't think it's going to hurt your store that bad. Maybe a blip for a couple days, if at all. But when you end, what is that? 7,004 goes in 4 times, 40%? No, that's wrong. That is wrong. I should be better at that kind of math. So if you take 4,000 items, it's 7, 6, 50 some percent. Let's see what it actually is. Uh, 4,000 divided by 7,000. This is probably why people don't watch. No one cares. It's 57%. So I took 57% of my store, poof, in one day, one evening. So if you did it on a smaller scale, like I said, it's probably not going to affect your store. If you did, let's say you wanted to get rid of 50 items and you did, I don't know, 2 a day, right? You could do that in a month. It's really probably not going to affect your store at all. Now, what have we been seeing? Well, Prime Day, I got killed. That was on the 10th. Sorry, the 11th. I only sold one item. Yesterday we sold 7. Today we've only sold 2. So it's been slow the last couple days. Other than that, we've been averaging that 6 to 10 a day, 6 to 9 a day. We're at 3,115 items in the store. Excuse me again. Uh, and I don't know. This is the thing that I've complained about and complained about, but I want to, because I was looking at my numbers from last year. So if you look at last July, killed me to look at this because of what happened, which eBay has never, I probably talked to 20 people about why my traffic just suddenly declined one day and to never rebound. I lost 75% of my traffic. Okay, so back in July, we were going like this. So on July 1st, 767,000 impressions with 11 sales, which is interesting because now I'm at, okay, on Monday, I had 197,000 impressions and I sold 9 items. So sold almost as many items with about a third of, less, more than almost a fourth of the traffic. Oh, why am I yawning so much? Okay, anyways, so July 1st, 767,000 impressions, 11 sold. July 31st. So in 1 month, I went up to 1,072,000 impressions, and I sold 21 items. So that's a big increase, right? In 1 month. over the summer, 400,000 impressions, give or take. Sales great. I had one day where I sold 27 items. I sold 20 plus items back to back. I thought, oh, everything's good. So if I'm selling, I sold 403 items that month. So it's a little over 12 a day, right? Or yeah, almost 13 and a half items a day. Okay. Right now, I am averaging per day, we're at 13 days. It's not going to be impressive, so don't hold your breath. 6. I'm selling 6 a day, right? So is what I'm saying is I'm getting less traffic, but I'm selling more per I guess if you want to say per page view, you want to do that. So page view, someone actually goes to your page, right? To your store or goes to an item in your store. So last year, before we got hosed, and I took all the items out, it took 85.6 views to sell one item last year for this month. Okay. 85.6, right? 85.6. Okay. So now, yeah, 85.6. Now it's taking 53.9 views to sell an item. Much better, right? So it looks bleak, but we're actually doing a lot better than we were at this time last year. We're not making as much money. We're not selling as many items. And trust me, that's very scary. But when you start to look at numbers, it's like, okay, we're doing okay. So we're 2 weeks in almost to July, 2.5 million impressions. Hell, that was almost 2 days worth of impressions towards the end of July. So yeah, it sounds pretty scary. So now let's reverse engineer this. So let's say, okay, um, it takes 53.9, we'll say 54 views, 54 page views. Okay. And we'll plug in last year's numbers. So it takes 54. So 34499 divided by 54, 638 items. So 638 divided by, well, there's 31 in this month. So we would have been at 20.5 items. And what I say we were 13 or something? 13.4 last year. So if my numbers stay the same and we had the same kind of traffic as last year, we'd be selling 20 and a half items a day. So now that kind of gives you hope. And you can do the same thing if you've ended items or store sucking or you're redoing your store, putting in better items, whatever the case may be. Okay. So you can say, okay, if I continue on this page, am I actually doing better? I know that the numbers are just down, 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 but per page view and item and how many I'm listing, we're still listing, I think we're listing 13 now. We're going to be listing 15 starting on Saturday, so 2 more days. So I'm selling, excuse me, 50% of what I'm listing. Here's another thing. Let's look at last year, last July. So last July we were listing 25 per day, selling 13 per day. So half. So now what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to take this I'm trying to keep my numbers the same as they are right now. I'm trying to keep that ratio pretty close. And as we list more items and the traffic increases, we're selling more items because we're putting better items in. So this is kind of the foundation we're laying so that we can move up. And then once we get back to, 1 million impressions, which was a little over 1,000 page views a day, just barely over some days. It went up as the month went on. 1,700 at the end of the month, into July last year. So, and now our page views are 3 to 400. Yesterday we had 379. Today we're at 162. I don't think today's going to be a very good day. Sometimes I get a late push though in the evening. People get off work, come and they buy. I like that. So, yeah, if I can keep this going and kind of keep it the same spread, I need some water. If I can keep it the same spread as we increase, that'd be good. Now, I have my listing scheduled out into August, 3 weeks ahead, right? So when we come into August, we're going to hit 16 a day. That's what I've started doing. So it's going to be 15 a day from July 15th through the 31st. August 1st, it'll be 16 a day. Now, I could bump up to 30 a day or 20 a day, but again, I want to do this incrementally. Plus, we need the money coming in so we can go buy that better stuff. I also thought of an idea of, okay, I don't need inventory for 2 months. So if I do go to the thrift, I know I don't need to buy a bunch of stuff, right? So that'll help me train my brain when I go in there. If I put a limit on, I can only find 5 items. Then I can only go, I don't know, once a week or twice a week, right? So I'm getting 10 items a week, but they can only be really good items. So imagine if you had that threshold every time you went to the thrift. So if I can do this exercise and train my brain, maybe it'll work out. Because I'll put back, maybe something that's $15 profit in exchange for an item that's $25 to $30 profit or $50 profit. I mean, who knows? I've been taking some pictures, right? Doesn't look like many items, but it is. And I got more pictures to take. We got the items over there. I need to take those pictures. I'm tired of those sitting there. Um, but I think if I could get in that mindset, it would force me to find really good items that are going to sell really fast. I don't know, it might be kind of a good exercise. And I can afford to do it, and I can afford to do it money wise, and I can afford to do it uh, quantity wise because we have so much inventory, for about the next 2 months. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm having the garage sale on Saturday, 2 days away. Go me. We'll see what happens. Um, Gosh, I would like to sell a lot of items, so I don't want to bring it all back downstairs. We'll see how we do. Then we'll make the determination of um, doing it again in August, towards the end of August, if it's going to be worth it or not. If I think it is, um, I don't know. Excuse me again. It's so hard to know. It's so hard to know because you look at time. So if thinking about what time. So if let's say I open at 9 and close at 4, that's 7 hours. Hour to set up, hour to tear down. So that's 9 hours. Okay, so if you want to make $20 an hour, you got to make $180. Which if you're selling items for $1 to $5, you got to sell a lot of items. So I'm just thinking, was this smart of me to pull all these out and do garage sale, or should I just put them back in and fix them? Right. So um, I don't know. Now, if you sell, let's say we sold 300 items on Saturday, and we made, let's just say we made $1,000 for a nice even number. Okay, we moved a lot of product. Good, right? And maybe 100. I mean, it's 100 items for a garage sale in one day is probably pretty good, right? I don't know. So I guess it depends on how big your garage sale is. Um, yeah. So that's kind of where my head's at right now. Thinking about things, really understanding all my numbers because money's tight because of what we're doing. But again, I still think in the long run, I think it's going to be worth it in the long run. I think this is going to turn things around because it really opened my eyes to brand Which, yeah, it's like I just woke up. Probably because I'm talking a lot. And I did neurofeedback, which if you don't know what neurofeedback is, Google it. It's pretty amazing how it retrains your brains because I have anxiety that just came on literally out of the blue almost 3 years ago now. So I've been working with the counseling lady and we do neurofeedback. They put nodes on you and you watch a movie and it trains your brain. It's pretty fascinating. Like it's not just for anxiety, like golf professionals, all kinds of professional athletes, they'll use it to train their brain to focus and it just connects the neural pathways so you make different connections between things. Anyways, so when you do that, you're literally working your brain. So every time I do it, I'm super tired afterwards. And I did it this morning, and because it's working your brain, right? So it makes you tired, it makes you feel like you've been working all day. So that's probably why I'm yawning. And here comes another one. Okay, so you bet. Sorry, but I have no idea where I was going before I mentioned neurofeedback. Oh yeah, the money. So I really know my numbers now. So this has forced me. I knew, good brands, and then I learned even more brands, right? So failing taught me more stuff. I learned all my numbers. I can tell you, I track it on a spreadsheet actually. Um, I can tell you every time an item sold. So every morning I go through and I say, okay, what's after I do my shipping, after I go to the post office or before, whatever. Once I print my labels and put them on and everything's ready to go to the post office, I I track on a spreadsheet how much we made off each item. Then you average it out, and that's your average profit, right? Really, all you have to know, I'll tell you how to do this right now, and it's super easy. So go into your paid and ship orders. Once you printed the label for an item, eBay thinks you've shipped it. So they do all the breakdown then because they have your label cost. So there's an order details number. Click on it, scroll down, and then at the very bottom it says order earnings. Gives you a number. Take that number, minus out your cost of goods. That's your profit, right? Obviously, it's before you pay yourself, whatever. Okay. So then you can just track those on a spreadsheet, Excel spreadsheet, add up the total, divide by however many items. That's how you get your average profit. Okay. Do it for a month and you'll have a really good idea of what your average profit is. Now, it's very eye opening, so be prepared. It's probably not what you think. Or maybe it is. I don't know. Maybe you already know. Anyway, so seeing that number, I know that number needs to get way higher because it's nowhere near where it needs to be. But we're also moving product, so we're bringing that money back in that's just in here because you look at all the pieces sitting here and it's just cash just sitting there. It's like a bank vault, but I don't know the code. I have access to none of this money in here. It's all in the form of clothing. I want to get it back. I don't want to lose money, but I know I'm not going to make as much money, which is why my average profit per item is down. Now, when I sell a really good item and I see $30 profit, it's like, well, why don't we do that all day? Well, because I don't have all those items, because I didn't know what the hell I was doing for 2.5 years. Now that I do, I have to take all this bad stuff and turn it into better stuff. That's an easy concept, but it's hard to do because when you're selling items for $10 and making 3 to 5 per item, that's not enough to go buy one more item because I shouldn't say that. The way I'm sourcing right now, I haven't found a way to get them cheaper. I can just get them at the thrifts. Now, I could go to a lot more yard sales. They can be hit and miss. I'd like to hit like a bigger sale or neighborhood sale or something so I can buy these things for cheaper that are still good brands. So then I could get it for $2, let's say, instead of $6.99 is pretty much the price for things at my thrift. Okay, so it takes 2 items for me to buy one. But then when you do sell that one, so you make even $15 profit. Now you can go buy 2 more items. Then you go buy 2 more items. Now you're going to get $30 profit. You guys understand the basic strategy. Concept is easy. Doing it is hard because you got to make sure, like when you're not selling hundreds of dollars per day, getting deposited into your bank account from your sales, you're only getting $75 or $100, right? It's hard to say, okay, what do I do with this money? Because the business still has bills to pay, right? This is all the business using this. The business has to pay for this every month. So I have to make sure the business covers all of its expenses. And I get a small salary. So I can't just say, okay, I'm going to go buy even $100 worth of inventory. That could break my whole month because that's how tight things are right now. So I really have to be careful. I really have to plan out my moves. You can't do as much experimenting when you get to this point, when you're trying something like this. Because I mean, literally, I'm in the middle of an experiment, right? Now, what I could do, at the touch of a button, I could take all those listings that I ended, and I could put them all back in the store. And I could go from 3,000 to 7,000 again, and I would get more sales per day. My traffic would go up, but I'd still have crappy listings at the wrong price, and things would be screwed up. So I'd be right where I started. That's not what I want to do. I want to fix these things. Now, one thing I am doing is there are some days where I'll put, say, 10 extra in the store. I've done it a couple times. I may do that a little more in the future just to bring that store up, but they're already done. They're good. I've gone through them, Oops, I forgot that shakes when I move. I've gone through them. The titles are good. The prices are good. All the item specifics, the pictures are good. We're good, right? Everything's good to go. Uh, I could do that. I could just do 50 one day, right? But I don't want to mess with the algorithm too much. I don't want to, I don't know. I don't know, but I do need money. So maybe I'll have to I could, do an extra 5 per day or 10 or something, or I don't know. I could just throw like 100 in there and see what the system does. It would be kind of interesting to see. I mean, there's nothing from stopping me from doing it. It's just me choosing not to because I don't want to. I'm trying to keep a baseline for the experiment, but I guess I could throw it off by doing this one little thing. Anyways, that's almost 23 minutes. So that's probably enough of me talking and yawning, which I apologize about. But yeah, let me know if you have any questions. Leave me a comment. Please leave me a comment. Let me know if you guys would like to see me live stream. Because I may just try it one time and see if anyone watches. I don't even know when the best time to live stream would be. But I don't know. All right. That's going to do it. Appreciate you stopping by. Take care.